football game. There will be an alumni football game to follow today's game at 4 o'clock on the football field. All alumni are invited to play. Just report to the field before game time. I think that's flag football, not tackle football, but
good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Trojan Football 1989. This afternoon, the Trojans play a Saturday afternoon ball game here at the UDA Stadium, as we have the homecoming festivities being worked out this weekend. The Trojans will take on their arch rival Millersburg Indians in a big, meaningful football game for both clubs this afternoon. Both of them coming into this afternoon's ball game with identical 3-2-1 records. So this game is not only a homecoming, not only has the homecoming festivities as part of the celebration here of homecoming UDA, but also one heck of a super football game. Real nice crowd out here on hand on the Trojan side of the field, and not a bad crowd on the Millersburg side as far as that goes for this afternoon's contest, and it should be a good one. Trojans will send out there for co-captains this afternoon. Number 12, Richie Shadle. Number 34, Gene Rickert. Number 66 out there is John Pry. And number 73 is Matt Raybuck. They will be the co-captains for the UDA Trojans here this afternoon in a big one. The field is in excellent condition as we get set to play this afternoon. There's a mostly kind of a high hazy cloudiness overlooking the field today. It's not bright sunshine, but really just a great day for a football game. And the Trojans are looking to put together a real good one, coming off of 2 consecutive victories, one over Halifax 2 weeks ago, and then last week a big blowout up at East Juniata. And should be just a super ball game this afternoon. We're looking at for the offense to keep it going for the Trojans. So we'll have the toss of the coin coming up here in just a moment.
Number 50, Jamie Engel.
Mr. Klinger practically overrides the audio here at the home ballpark, but anyway, we'll be having the snap here in just a second.
At the split end position, number 10,
Millersburg with a pretty good ball club this year so far, have played some teams pretty tough. And like the Trojans, the game or so they lost were just by a couple of points where they got nipped, as the Trojans have gotten nipped once or twice in this season. The extra points being a big factor for both ball clubs, and most of the clubs in the league this year seem to have been playing some pretty close ball games, and the extra points have in many cases been the difference in the win or loss. So the Trojans, last ball game against the East Juniata Tigers, had gotten a couple of extra points. Eugene Rickert kicked, I think, 3 consecutive ones for the Trojans, so we'll see how they do. The Trojans have won the toss, and they have elected to receive. They will be traveling from left to right, and will be defending the north goal here at UDA Stadium. So we'll be set to go here with the opening kickoff in just a moment. I think I was told earlier in the week anyway that Kerry Wiest will not be with the ball club this afternoon playing due to an injury he received. So one of the running backs will be Jason Undercuffler. He will fill in there for Kerry Wiest. Rickert will move back to the fullback spot, or where he's been the last 2 games. Jeff Lentz will start at the quarterback spot for the Trojans, and the other running back will be Todd Ayers. So your backfield will be Lenz, Ayers, Rickert, and Undercuffler. Really nice day. There is a breeze blowing. What kind of an effect it'll have on the passing, I'm not really sure. It's blowing across the field from the far side of the field to the near side, or from east to west here at the ballpark right now as we get set to go. Back deep for the Trojans will be Gene Rickert on the near side, Todd Ayers on the far side for UDA to receive this opening kickoff, and we will pick up some of the ball players as well as the Millersburg ball players as we go along here. Millersburg quarterback will be Clint Gehring, and the running back Chris Schuick, and he is the big running back for Millersburg. Does most of the scoring for the Indians, and they will use Schuick as the kickoff man also, so he's teeing the ball up here at the 40-yard line as we're just about set to go. Homecoming festivities at the ballpark here included a alumni basketball game last night between the odd-numbered years and the even-numbered years. Turns out the even-numbered years won the ball game. And following this contest today will be a alumni flag football game right here in the field. So some neat things lined up here for homecoming. Here's our opening kickoff. Kick's going to go back and going to be taken back here at the 3 by Gene Rickard. He's at the 5, 10, 15. He's up to the 20. And Gene is knocked down out here at the 26-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans at the 27. Gene getting up there just a little bit gingerly. Looked like he might have hurt a hip as he kind of favors that right hip. But at any rate, it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Trojans on the 27. They spot it. So 1st and 10 UDA on the 27. You break the huddle. Jeff Lentz will set him up. Rickard will be in the slot on the far side of the field, and again, I was misinformed. Kerry Wiest is in the football game, so I beg your pardon. Okay, Jeff Lentz sets him up. First play of the ball game, handoff over here to Ayers, and Ayers got a bunch as he rambles around the left side, all the way out here to the midfield stripe. And Todd Ayers with a super run that time all the way out to the 47-yard line, a 20-yard pickup for Todd on the very first carry. It's 1st and 10 for the Trojans on their own 47. Fine run that time, and again, good blocking out there on the left side by Rickard and the rest of the left side of that Trojan offensive line doing a super job. Lentz sets him up at the 47. The fumble on the play, and I think Jeff covered it. I hope so. It looked as though Jeff had fallen on it, and I believe he did. So we have a 2nd and 10. Gain of about a half a yard on the fumble. But at any rate, it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for all intents and purposes here. So we're set. Klinger will be the tight end for the Trojans on the near side of the field. Josh Schminke is the center for UDA. Here's Lentz coming over this way, and this time the ball is fumbled again, and it's recovered by 70 of Millersburg. Mike Reese picks up the fumble for the Millersburg Indians, and I'm not sure that play didn't look good from the very start that time as the Trojans got themselves a little bit tangled up, so the defense will be called upon here early in the first period as Millersburg will go on the offense for the first time. Gehring will set him up at quarterback. Schueck is number 16. He's the fellow we'll have to watch. He sets up as the right halfback, I guess, and now timeout's going to be called, or is it a 5-yard penalty for too much time as the Indians will get a 5-yard delay of the game penalty. They were messing around out there just a little bit too long, and that'll back them up to the Trojan 48-yard line, will be 1st and 15. Both teams, I'm sure, are going to be just a little bit tense. They're both very hyper about the ball game today. A big game, and so they want to do their best to do things right, and generally that's when you're over pressure, you just end up doing things wrong. At any rate, here goes the quarterback with it. He starts to run around the right side, and he is grabbed and drags ahead. As they told us, he is a very much a power runner. Gets himself about 10 to the 38-yard line of UDA. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Picked up 10.
Ball at the 38-yard line.
Good run that time by that Schueck. Here's a QB. He still has it. Hands it off over there to Bellis. And he gets a couple of yards out to the 37-yard line, something like that. Richie Shadle coming up and making the stop for UDA. It'll be a 3rd and 1. Ball now at the Trojan 33-yard line. They are going to measure this when the ball is laying right over there, and looks like it's going to be short from here. I think what they're really doing is trying to get the position on the field. Yeah, that's what we've got to do. It's going to be a third down and about 2 or 3 inches for the first down. So they were just trying to measure it so they can come out here and get the right placement. Millersburg, according to the numbers that I got from Mr. Klinger, Chris Schuick is acting as the quarterback, and Clint Gary
Let's say it's third and very short.
Is either not playing or something here is messed up. Anyway, we'll see what Mr. Klinger calls him, and we'll go by that. The way they line up here, 16 he gave me. Here's the quarterback sneaking it for the first down, and that is Schuick, they say. So that's a first down for Millersburg as they drive the ball down to the UDA 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians on the UDA 33.
First down, Millersburg.
Trojans with that big turnover early going in the first period here. We have 9 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the very first period. 1st and 10, the Indians at the UDA 33. Schuick is the quarterback. He's got it. He's going to try to spin around this way. This time he spins away from a tackler, and he's got it yet. Gained about a yard. Trojan over here looked like it might have been Tom Paul had a shot at him in the backfield, but Schuick, a very tough runner, spun away and picked up 1 yard on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Brian Bellis coming up and making the stop for the Trojans. It's a 2nd and 9. UDA on the defense in there has Brian Mace and Tom Paul as the 2 heavyweights in the center of that line. Kerry Wiest in there along with Troy Klinger on the near side, defensive ends. Here's a handoff, and Bellis down to the 22 or 3. Check that, make it the 27-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Ball at the UDA 27-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for
Millersburg. Or 5 maybe. Let's see. Yeah, about 3rd and 5 we'll call it. Ball on the 27. Defense has got to dig in here now as the Indians are getting themselves a threatening march here going on the 27. Here's Schuick with it again. Going to try to turn around the right side, and he is hit this time very nicely by a bunch of Trojans. Kerry Wiest in there for one of them. And Sean Arts.
Also number 30. That's 30, Sean Arts, and 31, Kerry Wiest.
Kerry Wiest coming up there, along with Sean Arts to make the stop, says Mr. K.
4th down and about 3, long
and
3
it'll be
for the Indians.
4th and 3, so this is a big play now for that Trojan defense. Let's see what they can do here now. Schuick at the quarterback spot for the Indians. He hands it off here to Bellis, and Bellis gets close to the first down. It'll be awfully close. If they spot it at the 22-yard line, it will be desperately close.
Also there,
see if they have to measure. It's going to be,
the first down.
Depending on the spot, it'll be very close, and they very well may measure. Nope, referee says it is a first down. So it'll be first down for the Indians at the UDA 22. Struggling run that time by Bellis as the Trojans reluctantly give up this yardage, but between that Schuick and number 21 Bellis, they're able to get the first down at the UDA 22. So here we go now on a 1st and 10 from the UDA 22. Schuick handing it off. Here goes 24 up the middle, all the way down here inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Right
up the middle he goes, number 34. That is also a Bellis, but he's got himself a 1st and goal now on the 8-yard line.
And Shane Rao reporting in for the Trojans as
fine run that time by that other Bellis.
At the 8-yard line of UDA.
1st and goal.
So run of about
Trojan defense being pressed early here now. Schuick setting him up on a 1st and goal from the 8. Hands it off here to 10, and this time he is going to be stopped as he's driven back very nicely there by Dan Stoneroad and also Rickert.
Number 34, Gene Rickert.
So Stoneroad and Rickert team up that time to stop them for
No gain on the play.
not much
Second
gain,
goal from the 8.
maybe a little bit. This ball still looks like it's about at the 7-yard line, so he may have picked up nearly a yard on the play, not much more than that. And the Trojan defense must maintain this toughness in here now. We'll see what happens. Schuick going to try to run it ahead. He drives inside the 5 to about the 4. Gain of about 3. It'll bring up a 3rd and goal now, and the ball will be spotted at the 4.
Trojan defense.
3rd and goal from the 4. Tom Paul, the man that finally slowed him up, stopped him in there.
3rd and goal from about
so we have a 3rd and goal now. Another whopper of a play here. Got to watch this Schuick. There he's hands it to 21, and did he drive it in? No.
That's Dana Bellis. Is he in?
Nope. Well, wait a minute. Referee says he is in. I don't see any of the people over on the side signal he's in.
They're signaling touchdown.
Now,
but there is a
wait a minute. There's a flag over there. I thought something happened here because the referee did signify that he had gone in. But there is a penalty, and the way the Indians are jumping around, I would guess it's against UDA. Penalty is going to be a face mask against the Trojans. That, of course, would be declined. And the touchdown stands. So Millersburg, on their initial drive here now, drives it in from the 48-yard line of UDA. That score came with 4 minutes and 27 seconds remaining here in the first period. Schuick, it would appear, is going to kick the extra point. At least that's the indication they give. They have a holder back here. Everybody spread out now. The sides come in here for Millersburg. Here's the snap. Put it down. No good as he kicks it almost straight up in the air. No good. And so it's a 6-0 ball game now with the Millersburg Indians on top. There you go. 4 minutes, 27 seconds remaining here in the first period. And we've got a 6-0 ball game. Trojans going to have to come back and get on the board here now right away. Schuick will tee it up at the 40-yard line for the Indians. As back deep again for the Trojans will be Gene Rickert on the near side and Todd Ayers on the far side of the field for UDA.
Forgot to announce the coaching staffs for the respective schools. For Millersburg, the head coach is Phil Gruich. The assistant coaches are Roger Phillips, George Maskinis, Brad Couch, and Todd Wingard. And for Upper Dauphin, head coach Tom Hain, assisted by Mike Wirtz, Jack Mateer, Wayne Klauser, and Rich Klinger.
Here we go. We're ready for Schuick's kickoff.
Back are Rickard and Ayers.
Here's the kick. Going to be taken this time by Todd Ayers at the 5. He's at the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, skips ahead to the 30-yard line. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans, right at the 30-yard line.
Number 35, Sam Sassani.
Sam Sassani making the stop for the Indians, but the Trojans now will go on offense for the second time this morning, or this afternoon, at the 30-yard line. Here's Lentz with it, looking to scramble around this side. He's held up as he gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Not much if they're Venny. No, they're going to mark it right at the line of scrimmage. So Jeff, trying to run around the right side here, gets absolutely nothing, and it'll be 2nd down and 10.
2nd down and 10.
Jason Undercuffler will check out of the ball game now. Brian Bellis in there, number 86 for UDA. He'll be the flanker on the far side of the field. He'll flank out wide over there. Lentz rolling back to pass, looking over that way. Fires one, incomplete. Pass intended over there for Bellis. But it falls as an incompletion, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
3rd down and 10.
Kind of a bad pass that time by Jeff. It fired that one a little bit low. Indians getting a good rush in there, not giving Lentz or anybody in the backfield very much time now. So now time's called as we have a timeout called by Millersburg.
Timeout.
No timeout called by the Indians with 3 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the first period. Indians up 6-0.
Several announcements right. Third down.
Okay, here we go on a third down play. Here goes Lentz rolling around the left side, looking to pass one. He's got it out here, and it's complete this time. First down on a nice pass play to Brian Bellis out there. He gets knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line by Wetzel of Millersburg, but a good first down that time. So nice pass that time to Brian Bellis, who comes off the field here now. And we'll see what the Trojans can do. That time, Jeff had the time and really shot a nice pass in there to Bellis. This time, Undercuffler is the flanker on the near side. Bellis or Lentz is looking for him. Whoa!
Pass intended for number 26,
Jason Undercuffler, had a chance to catch that one. Kind of looked upfield, I guess, just slightly before he caught the ball. So falls an incompletion. Now we're going to try this again here on a 2nd and 10 from the 41. Here's Lentz. Handoff over to the second man through there, and that's going to be Rickert. And Gene got back to the 40-yard line. Might have lost a half a yard on that play.
Smelling that one out.
And it'll be third down
about one on the play to be
and
third
11.
down and 11.
Trojan offense just sputtering here a little bit in the early going. They just haven't gotten it going yet. Jeff going to roll over here to the right, getting a good rush. Passes one out here, nearly intercepted by number 82, Jason Undercuffler again.
Almost
the intended receiver.
By number 82, Dave Wetzel, and looks like
but Trojans will be forced to punt now. As off they come, and Coach Hain going to have a little bit of a talk here with Jeff. Jeff getting a heck of a rush out there. The offensive line, which has protected the quarterback pretty well in the last 2 ball games. Now today just getting a little more pressure from these Indians. Here's a bad snap. A flag is thrown. Whistles are blown. Everything's happening here. And we'll see what this is now. This is going to be apparently against Millersburg, according to the Upper Dauphin reaction. We'll see. No, it's not. One of the Upper Dauphin Trojans reacted a little prematurely, perhaps. Offsides on the punt attempt, but the snap was no good. It rolled back to Jason, so now we don't need to start that kind of stuff. Let's see if we can get a good snap off this time. Maybe the penalty was okay that time. Might have saved us from something here. Okay, anyway, here we're going to try it again now. Jason will be standing back at his 22. Another good snap this time. And a kick. It's going to go out of bounds over at the 37-yard line or 38-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Indians on their own 38-yard line.
Will take over.
Got 2 minutes and 32 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Trojans trailing 6-0, and we have Gene Rickert shaken up here a little bit. Gene's going to come off. Looks like he might have got a injury on the chin, maybe a cut in the chin or something like that. Gene going to get some attention here from Coach Wirtz. And we're set to go. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of Millersburg. Schuick at the quarterback spot for the Indians. Motion by 22. Here's a handoff to number 21. Dana Bellis. He got about a yard or so out to the 40. Picked up 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Sean Arts in there making the stop for the Trojans. And it'll be 2nd down and 8. 2:14 remaining in period number 1. Trojans down 6-0. Just having a little
2nd down and 8 now.
Look here, the crowd even getting a little better as we speak. Anyway, here's a 2nd down and 8 now. Oh, there's going to be an offsides by that Indian left tackle here, or left guard. He went flying up here. Oh, 82. He's getting a little irate. You don't want to get Indians mad at you, you know. At any rate, he's a little mad at the handling he got from one of the Trojans, and the officials now are going to be talking it over here with UDA. Now, UDA could, of course, come up with some kind of a personal foul penalty on that offsides thing. Trojans, I think, may have come out with the worst of this, as it looked as though the penalty initially was, let's see what they call it, dead ball foul. They call it illegal procedure against the Indians. That was obvious.
Millersburg.
And, however, let's see if they call something against the Trojans. Yes, they are. Personal foul against the Trojans. So the Trojans are going to end up on the short end of this, and we can ill afford to do this. Somebody getting just a little bit over hyper out there, I guess. At any rate, that gives the Millersburg Indians, instead of a 5-yard penalty, gives them a 1st down at the 49-yard line of the Indians. First and 10 from the 49 for Millersburg. Schneck still has it. He's getting a flag on a hold out here, and a good tackle made in there by number 31, Kerry Weast. And nice job done there by Kerry, and should have a hold in here on a Millersburg back. They're going to talk to the Trojans, and our Trojan lawyer out there is Todd Ayers. Todd checking with the sidelines. He's going to say, we'll take the, well, let's see. We have the ball for an 8-yard loss. Ball back at the 41-yard line. So I think they could easily decline this one. It's a hold called against the Indians.
Holding.
And this will be declined. It'll be 2nd down. Loss of 8 on the play. They would have gained 2 yards on the hold. And so the Trojans very wisely elect to decline the penalty. It'll be 2nd down and 18. Clock moving now with 1 minute and 24 seconds remaining here in the first period. Okay, here we go on a 1st and 18 from the 41. 22 in motion over on the right side. Schuick has it, hands it off. Up the middle goes Bellis. And Bellis dives across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Gain of about 4 on the play. Ayers makes the stop for the Trojans. It'll be a 3rd down and 14.
Along with number 34, Gene Rickard.
Rickard and Ayers combining on the stop for the Trojans.
3rd and 13 for...
3rd and 13, says Mr. Klinger, so I guess I'll have to agree with that. The ball at the 46 of Millersburg. Schuick, this time he bumps into somebody. He still has it. Fires one out there. He's got a receiver open, and the receiver has got the ball. And he's going to go all the way, still on his feet, down to the inside to 2 to the 3. As he drug both Lentz and Shadle with him all the way down to the 3. So things not going the Trojans' way now, as Schuick in the backfield there seemed to bump into one of his fellow backfield men and then fired a pass out there. And man, the man was open. John Ulsh with the reception for Millersburg. It's 1st and goal from the 3, or 2 really. 1st and goal from the True, and the Trojans already trailing 6-0. Wow, what a turn of events here. Didn't expect this kind of a situation, but at any rate, it's 1st and goal from the 3. Schuick gonna try to scramble in with it. Did he get it? He did. He pulls his way in there. Schuick is tough. And it's a Millersburg touchdown now, as number 16 Schuick goes in for his Millersburg Indians, and it's 12-0 here in period number 1. Trojans did not expect this, I don't believe, but Trojan miscues. First one led to the touchdown, gave the ball away. Second time we had to punt. So here we go. Schuick will do everything for the ball club, so he's going to try to kick the point after. That's blocked. So once again, the extra points could be very, very important here later on. We've got a 12-0 ball game. 8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, and the Millersburg Indians tacking on 12 unanswered points so far on our Trojans. Trojans will again receive the kickoff as Schuick once again tees it up at the 40-yard line for the Millersburg Indians. And once again, Gene Rickert will be the near side back, deep to receive the punt. And Todd Ayers on the far side for
alumni football game at
UDA.
4. Spaghetti dinner from 4 to 7, and then the homecoming dance tonight from 8 to 11. Here we go.
So here we go again.
Chris Schuick kicking off again for Millersburg.
Millersburg 12, Upper Dauphin nothing. Here's the kick. It's going to be very short. In fact, it's going to go out of bounds over here. It's intercepted or caught over there by Mr. Miskinnis. Coach Miskinnis of Millersburg made the reception on that play. It's out at the 31-yard line, and let's see. Are they going to kick it over? Trojans are kind of deciding here. Nope. Trojans say, hey, that's a good enough starting spot, I guess, so we're going to take it right there at the 31-yard line. It'll be first and 10
take the ball
for Upper Dauphin at the 31.
First and 10.
8 seconds remaining, and they will get one play off as the clock is stopped. The Trojans will run one play, and then we'll change field positions as the first quarter will come to an end. So here we go. Lentz sets him up. He hands it off over here and stopped almost immediately is Gene Rickert, I believe, or is it Ayers? I'm not sure. The buzzer sounds. It was Todd Ayers, and Todd got nothing that time. As
Ayers on the carry.
The stop was made almost immediately. No gain on the play, so the ball is going to go down to the other end of the field and be placed at the 31-yard line. And UDA will put it in play there to begin the second period.
We'll resume play in the second quarter.
Trojan homecoming crowd kind of stunned over here right at the moment as the Trojan offense, which really looked as though they had it together the last couple of ball games, have been stymied by this Indian defense tonight, this afternoon.
The bleachers, if you'd like to buy one, please do so before
we'll be right
halftime.
back at the beginning of the second period in just a moment. Okay, the Trojans break the huddle as we begin period number 2 here, second quarter of play. Just starting, here's the initial play. Pitch over here to Ayers on a reverse. Going to try to come around this way, and boy, this is going to be, wow, wait a minute, here comes Jason Undercuffler, and he stays out here to nearly the line of scrimmage, but boy, that looked like a disaster waiting to happen there as Jason almost caught deep in the backfield. Finally manages to scramble back to a 1-yard loss. Ball back at the 29-yard line now, so it'll be 3rd and 11. Or second down, 3rd down. Okay, make it 3rd down and 11.
3rd and 10 for Upper
Ball
Dauphin.
back at the 29-yard line. Here's a pass, looking over this way. Fires one down this way. It's complete to Gene Rickert. Gene's got it, and Gene's going to be thrown out of bounds out here at about the 42. It'll be very, very close to a first down. As a matter of fact, where this guy spotted it, it looks as though it could be a first down. It is. Okay, nice job that time as, again, a lot of pressure being put on quarterback Jeff Lentz. But he found Gene Rickert open over here, and Gene grabbed that pass and just got himself about 11.5 yards to give the Trojans a first down at their own 41-yard line. Here's Lentz again. Pitch over this way to Ayers. Ayers sidesteps one tackler and gets out here to the 43-yard line. We got an injured. No, wait. Now he gets up. Thought we might have had. I think we do have a shaken up Indian out here, and he's going to leave the ball game just momentarily. I think he'll be back. At any rate, gain of only 1 or 2. Let's see. Going to give him 2 on the play, down to the 40 3-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 8. Undercuffler flanks out on the far side of the field. In the slot this time is Rickert.
Ayers gained 2 in that play.
With Wiest and Ayers. Here's Todd Ayers with it. Todd up the middle, dives down here to the 50-yard line.
For that first down,
and he's short by about a yard. But nice run that time by Todd.
Schuick and number 76. That's
Todd
Chet
picked
Wimmer.
up about 8 on the play.
Made the tackle.
It'll be
third down
and a long one.
Midfield.
Okay, 3rd and 1. See if we can get that Trojan offensive line to open up a hole here and have somebody get through for 1. Here comes Rickert in motion this way. Ayers will follow Rickert. Ayers got the first down and more as he dives down here to the 43-yard line. Another fine run in there by Todd Ayers.
34.
Todd with a super drive that time as the Trojans now have a march going here. They're inside of Indian territory now at the Indians' 44-yard line.
Ball at the
43, we'll call it.
Millersburg 43-yard line.
And now Undercuffler will flank out on the far side again as we use the same setup in the backfield. Jeff Lentz sets him up. Lentz hands off to Rickert this time. Rickert diving down across the 40 to the 39.
Gets inside.
Nice gain that time.
Tackle made by
see where they
10.
spot it. Going to spot it at the 39-yard line. Picked up a long 3. It'll be 2nd down and 6. Somewhere between 3 and 4 yards. Gene picked up that time. Trojans need to get in here and score. We've got 9 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Trojans down by 12 nothing. Here comes Gene again. Pitch is over here to Todd Ayers. Todd going to turn the left side. Gets a good block. Todd dives down here to the 33-yard line. A nice block that time by a couple of Trojans. 66 and 73 over here. Making some good blocks along with Gene Rickert, who is blocking on every play. But anyway,
7 on the play. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the Trojans.
Some good blocking that time as Todd came around this left side. Formation switches to the other side of the field here now. We'll see what we do. Here comes Rickert, and Gene dives ahead to the 30-yard line.
30-yard line, number 50.
Not too much gain on that play, maybe a yard or so. Jamie Angle tripped him up in there for Millersburg. Picked up 2, it'll be 2nd and 8. Okay, 2nd and 8. Lentz handing it off here to Todd Ayers. Todd dives into the line, and that's about it. Not too much that time for that Trojan running back. Not much at all, in fact, no gain. So, we're going to call it a 3rd down and 8. Tim Ressler checks out of the ball game as Troy Klinger comes back in for the Trojans now. He'll be at a tight end position. He's the tight end on the near side of the field. Okay, Trojan fans over here exhorting the fellas to do some blocking in there on that Trojan offensive line. Here goes Lentz. He's going to roll right. Jeff had some room out there. Now is he going to tuck it? Yes, he is. Oh, he's grabbed by the sweater by one Indian who makes a heck of a tackle over there, as Jeff could have really sprung himself loose around that right side, but Dana Bellis of the Indians grabbed a hold of that sweater and just would not let him go. Matter of fact, Jeff getting a little help getting put back together out here.
27-yard line.
And timeout's going to be called now by UDA as Coach Hain will come onto the field. The Trojans will be faced with a 4th down and about 5 from the 27-yard line. Be right back. Exactly 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. The Trojans down 12-0.
At 7:30 in the high school library. All alumni and your suggestion.
Okay, the timeout is over. Here comes a big 4th and 5 for the Trojans. Lentz gonna roll left, looking, getting a good charge. Now he's got a little bit of room, and oh, he is just going to be stopped a little short, I believe. We're going to look for the spot, and it will be awfully close. No, it won't. No, it won't even be close. I'm sorry. I was looking at the down marker. Nope. Jeff short by a couple of yards. So it's going to turn the ball over to Millersburg again now. And again, that Trojan defense going to be called to hold them here. Trojans have not been really able to hold Millersburg so far in the ball game. The Indians have had the ball twice and have scored twice. So the Trojans with their work cut out for them here now on defense. The ball is turned over with 7 minutes and 35 seconds remaining here in the first half. The clock is moving. And Schuick sets up his Indians at the Trojan 27. Hand off to Bellis, and he drives ahead to the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3 on the play. It'll be second down and 7.
Gain of about maybe 3 in the play.
Tom Paul and Kerry Wiest making the stop for UDA as they drove the ball out to the 30. Trojan defense just surprised, I think, here maybe at the strength of this Millersburg offense. And now time is called for whatever. Let's see. Could it be another delay? No. Timeout, I guess, being called by, not sure by whom.
Millersburg.
Millersburg. Okay, Millersburg called timeout. 6 minutes, 54 seconds remaining here in the first half. Millersburg with a timeout, and they lead 12-0. Okay, set to go here now on a third down and about 8. Ball to Trojan 30. Handoff, and this time Bellis, I think, has it again. And somebody tackling him, number 85, Troy Klinger, comes up and makes a fine stop that time for UDA. Gain of about a yard as he fell ahead for 1. We'll bring up a third down and still 6, but it's going to be a long 6 on this third down play. 6 minutes, 27 seconds remaining, clock moving. Sport Bingaman in there at a defensive end position for UDA. Here's Schuick with it. Now he's got some trouble in the backfield as he goes tripping over a couple of people. I think they're going to give Troy Klinger again credit for that. I'm not sure if he had tripped over Troy or if Tripp really Troyed him. It doesn't matter. As Schuick went down, and that's going to be the Millersburg's first turnover on downs, I would believe, as it'll be a 4th and 8. First time the Indians will punt. He'll be punting from his own 18. Schuick does absolutely everything but blow the footballs up. Here's a bad snap. Schuick's got it. Gets the kick off. It's going to be a low line driver. It roll out here to the 42-yard line where it'll be downed by Upper Dauphin. But boy, Schuick that time just was so fortunate to get the ball off. That kid's quite an athlete.
So he did get about 30
got the ball off on a very terrible snap.
Over his head.
He handled it very well under the circumstances and got the ball out to the Trojan 42. 1st and 10 UDA there. Trojans will have 5 minutes and 20 seconds when they get this play off here now. Here's Lentz. He hands it off. Here's a nice run up the middle. Here goes Kerry Wiest. Wiest still on his feet, and he's driven down here finally, and the ball gets loose. Wow. Ball got loose at the end of the play. When out of bounds, it will remain Upper Dauphin possession down at the Millersburg 30. So a fine run that time. 10, 15, about just about 20-yard run that time, or 25-yard gain. And nice run that time by Kerry Wiest.
Upper Dauphin retains possession at the Millersburg 30-yard line.
Kerry's first time handling the ball this afternoon, I believe, and he picked up a bunch. Trojans need to get in. I think if the Trojans can get in here before halftime, we're going to see a totally different second half. Here's Lentz still with it. He's got it, tries to cut it upfield, and gets back to maybe the line of scrimmage, and that's about all. Jeff not having much luck turning around that right side. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. And Jeff says, hey, what can I do? So anyway, let's see what happens.
Wiest is still in the backfield. along with Rickard and Ayers.
This time it's a second down and 10. Come on, Jeff, let's do something here. Jeff hands it off over here to Gene Rickard. Can he turn this left side? Gene dives down to the 25. Nice run that time. Heavy pursuit in there by a couple of Indians. Greg Bellis and Cassani making a stop, but Gene just tucked his head down here and dove ahead for 5. It'll be 3rd and 5 now from the 25-yard line of Millersburg. Trojans have been down here before and got stymied, so let's see what happens. Under cover of the flanker on the far side of the field for the Trojans. Here's the setup. Here goes Ayers, driving up the middle, bounces off of a couple, still driving down to the 22.
Maybe 3 in the play.
Tough yardage that time for Todd Ayers as he got stacked up at about the 25 and then kept driving ahead down to the 22-yard line. Gain of about 3. It'll be 4th and 2.
4th and long 2 at the
4th and 2, and the Trojans, of course, will drive this one in, I hope. It's 3 minutes and 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. We need a big one. The crowd on this side exhorting the team to go ahead and get it. The crowd on the other side of the field calling for the defense. Here's Lentz on a 4th down play. Drops it out there. It's to Todd Ayers. Todd down inside the 15. Dives down to the 11. Okay, good job that time by Ayers on a fine little flare pass out there by Jeff Lentz. Boy, Lentz just gently floated that one out there to Ayers, and Todd, a good all-around athlete. He picks the ball up and gives the Trojans a 1st and 10 at the 11. Good job. Gutsy call that time on a 4th down and 2 to go for the pass. All right. A lot of confidence in these fellas. Here's Lentz with it. Hands off to Todd Ayers. Ayers down to the 7 or 8 maybe.
With delay play on the right side.
Good run that time. I think he's got it down to about the 7. We'll have to see where they spot it.
21, Dana Bellis also there.
Matt Raybuck in there doing a good job opening the hole that time for
7 from
Todd.
the 8-yard line.
Ball is spotted actually at the 8. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for a 1st down. 2nd and 8 for a touchdown. Let's go, Trojans, let's go. Okay, here's Lentz. Lentz got it yet. Jeff got to scramble around this side. He should get in. He does. All right, touchdown. Jeff takes it in from 8 yards out there. Boy, that time the Schuick tried to make the stop on him, but Lentz, big, strong Jeff, just drives it in from 8 yards out. So the Trojans are on the board. Now let's see if those ever-loving extra points are going to be in the Trojans' favor today. Jeff runs in an 8-yarder. Again, good blocking on this side, turning the play in and allowing Jeff on the scramble to run around the left side. We're going to try it here out of the hold of Richie Shadle as Gene Rickard will attempt the very, very important extra point.
Rickard attempting the point after.
Here we go. Let's hope this is a good one. Timeout now called here. We have a problem here with something or somebody. I'm not sure. Let's see. I don't think the Trojans had enough men as Troy Klinger comes onto the field. So I think the Trojans may have been a man short on the extra point try. So we'll be right back after the Trojan timeout and see if this extra point, which has been primarily one of the most exciting plays in the football game, let's see if we can successfully get one here. Be right back. We have 2 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the first half. Trojans trailing now by 6, 12-6. Be right back. Okay, here we go now. Shadle, Richie Shadle, the holder. Gene Rickard, the kicker. Good snap. Placement stop. Kick is up. The kick is good. All right. Okay. Atta boy, Gene and Rich. Everybody blocking out there. Looking good. Atta boy, Gino. That could be a very important point after. It's now 12-7. Trojans trailing by just 5. Okay. Good job. Gene was successful against Juniata, as I said earlier, about 3 consecutive extra points he had. So we have a 12-7 ball game now with 2:21 remaining here in the first half. Okay, Gene will be teeing it up here in a moment at the 40-yard line. Official out here exhorting the boys to stay on side, wait for the kick. Gene counting his charges out here. And we're set to go. Millersburg sends one man back deep to receive the kickoff. This will be Upper Dauphin's first kickoff of the ball game.
Quicker kicking off. Back is number 16.
Let's see if Gene can get a good one off. Here he goes. He approaches it. He hits it. Nice kick. Going to be taken right out here at the 15. He's at the 20, the 25. Angle ahead here to the 30-yard line where he's met by a couple of good Trojan tacklers. Brian Bellis, who is the premier coverage man for the Trojans. Let's see. Had a bunch in there. 63 also helping out on the stop that time for UDA, that Aaron King.
Millersburg has the ball.
And it'll be first and 10 now for the Indians on the Trojan 30. Now the Trojan defense can get tough here. We've only got 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in the first period. If Trojan defense can stop them, then you're going to see a different ball game here in the second half. Here's Schuick with it, coming around this side. He's held up momentarily, gets a couple, and now is knifed down nicely by Tumpall. And let's see, Sport Bingaman out there also on the tackle.
Tom Paul.
So good job that time. Gain of about 4 out to the 34-yard line. It'll be second down and 6. Trojans holding them up, though. That doesn't seem like we have that same quickness on the Millersburg backfield now. The Trojans just not allowing that here. And I believe I can detect a little bit of a improvement here in that Trojan defense.
About 7 now for Millersburg at the 33-yard line.
Here's 21 to Bellis, and now they tie him up as Dana Bellis runs up to the line. Might have got a yard, maybe a half a yard. Everybody in there that time. We've got
30,
Sean Arts, Brian Mace, Riggert, Bingaman, all the fellas over here on the left side of that Trojan defensive line doing a heck of a job that time. It'll be
53 ticks left on the clock here in
no
the first
gain
half.
on that play, or virtually no gain. Still third down and about 6. We've got 45 seconds remaining here, but the Trojans probably won't get the ball back in this half. Here's a penalty going to be called now as number 82 out here moves too soon, and that's going to stop the clock momentarily anyway and move the Indians back 5. That'll set them back to their own 29-yard line, just shy of the 30. Illegal procedures, the call, offsides, whatever. And it'll be a third and 10 now. Let's see. Yeah, about a third and 10. A little more than that. And we have 33 seconds to go, and the clock is moving. But that Trojan defense really starting to look tough out here. Here we go on a third and 10. Can't let them off the hook this time now. They flank out 2 guys over on the far side. The run and shoot formation. Here is Schuick with it. He's looking, dumps it over here, but up comes a couple of tacklers and they miss him. But comes out here to the 42-yard line. A couple of Trojans there spinning away, spinning off of him. Missed, let's see. Timeout's going to be called, I think, here. As the Trojans call timeout. It'll bring up a 4th down and 6. So the Trojans
a 4th down and maybe
about 5
or
4, whatever. Okay, but nevertheless, it's going to be a Trojan timeout with 2 seconds remaining. So the Trojans apparently hope to be able to run this punt back. We'll see, and we'll be right back. Good defensive stand that time. Be right with you. Okay, Millersburg, of course, will elect to go into the halftime with this 5-point lead now, as they do not punt on the 4th down and 4. They're going to just down it here, and that's going to end the first half of play. But a decent... Well, both teams are back on the football field now as we get set to begin the second half of play. During the second half, to get going with the second half of play, the Trojans will kick off to the Millersburg Indians. And the Trojans, as you saw in the first half, Trojan defense finally coming to life here at the latter part of the second period. So I think we're going to have a very, very exciting second half of play here today. We'll be back here in just a moment with the UDA Trojan kickoff as our co-captains for today get set to meet at the middle of the field with the Millersburg co-captains. And
Trojan Football Club.
I assume Coach Hain has given the boys a good pep talk and lets them continue to realize that the season, so to speak, is quite on the line here.
50-50 drawing today. Linda Straub of Elizabethville.
So we will
Congratulations, Linda.
Proceed out here and have the formalities preceding the second half kickoff, and we'll be right back.
She's going to be throwing a party at her house for everyone after the helping to work on the Borough Park baseball field. That's used by the Upper Dauphin Area High School baseball team and also the Upper Dauphin Area Legion team. Please report there tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock or 1:30. Bring some rakes.
I think Richie's ready to play.
Also maybe some shovels.
And I believe the rest of this squad is also, and so we're going to be right back with the kickoff to begin the second half.
For
Gene Rickard will tee him up for the Trojans out here at the 40-yard line now as Gene gets set to tee it up. And we'll be looking to get a good kick out of Gene here. The wind now getting just a little bit stronger, it would seem, will be kind of at Gene's back, favoring the far side of the field, but coming across this way. Maybe we can take a shot at some of these little flags down here. Well, now the kids took most of them off there. At any rate, looks like Gene would have the wind predominantly at his back. So here we go. Second half, ready to go. Here's the kick. Low line drive kick. Going to be taken over here and fumbled. Misplaced. Picked up again here now at the 10. He spins ahead here to the 15 and or the 20 rather. But boy, oh boy, now the Trojans in hot pursuit here. Here's
82.
Let's see, 82 in there. Bussy Manning in there to make the stop. 62, looked like Sport Binghamton to me. But at any rate, Millersburg now down at the 20-yard line for 1st and 10 as they set it up here to go. Opening offensive series for the second half of play. A super first half. Trojans trailing 12-7. But we'll see what happens here now. Here's the quarterback, fading back to pass, getting a good rush. Can they get him? No, he's going to spin away from one would-be tackler from another one, breaks another tackle, and goes all the way out here to the 28-yard line. That time the Trojans really had some good pursuit in there. Gene Rickard coming up there to make the stop, but boy, we had some good chances that time, and that Suick got away from 5 or 6 Trojans who had good shots at him. And he ran the ball out to the 27-yard line. So an excellent run that time by the quarterback, Schuick of Millersburg, who was running for his life back there. Real good pursuit and just unable to capture this elusive quarterback. And here we go. Schuick hands it off. Up the middle goes a young lad, and he gets across the 30 to the 31. Bellis, so it's a first down. Mace credited with a stop for the Trojans, but let's see here now. Trojan defense has got to dig in. Got Mace out there, along with Tom Paul in the center of that line. 62, Sport Binghamton, the near side. Here's Schuick with it. Now can he get pursuit? He does, and a good tackle that time by Gene Rickard. All right, Gene says that a boy. A nice stop that time. Loss of about 3 or so on the play. They're going to spot the ball back to the 27-yard line. It'll be second down and about 13. Good job that time by Gene Rickard coming up there from that linebacker position. Gene just plays one heck of a ball game for 48 minutes. Okay, here we go. Second down and 13. Schuick. Gene moves his lineman around out here now. Here goes Schuick. He's going to pass this time. Looking down over there on the left side. Fires one out there. Almost intercepted. Nearly Brian Bellis picked that pass off. Son of a gun. Brian had an opportunity to pick that one off, and it just went out of his fingertips. But anyway, it's going to bring up a third down and 13, and I like the way the defense looks right now. Stentz was the intended receiver that time from Schuick, but good defensive play out there by both Lentz and Brian Bellis. Brian, I think the man nearly picking that pass off. Boy, would that have been a A big one. But anyway, we'll get him this time. Okay. Schuick sets him up now at the 27-yard line. Back to pass again. Looking over the same play. Here it comes. Pass is knocked down nicely by Brian Bellis. Boy, oh boy, what a super play by Brian Bellis, knocking the ball down right at the last second. And the Trojan defense has held, and they will get the ball back. Good job that time, Brian Bellis, on a fine defensive play. He was right there with the intended receiver. Okay, Trojans will get it back. They're going to send one man back, and this is Justin Adams. Schuick will be punting from back at his 15-yard line. He'll step up to about the 7. Another high snap, but he will get it off. Justin Adams, the only receiver back here. Whoa. Gets a good UDA bounce and comes all the way out here to the 48-yard line. Now the ball bounced back here at about the 43-yard line of Upper Dauphin and bounced back to the Millersburg 48. So the Trojans now, and this crowd over here, which is a good one, they're getting pretty excited about this whole thing now. And well, they should. Here comes Undercuffler as a flanker out on the near side of the field for the Trojans. Ayers, Rickert, and here's Ayers with it. Todd going to try to turn the left side. He's got a couple of yards down to the 47-yard line. Picked up about 2.
May have gained about 1 on the play.
1 or so. We'll see where they spot it. Yeah, only a gain of 1. Sorry about that. Gain of 1 down to the 47. So he picked up 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9. Second and 9. This time they reverse the field as Undercuffler will be the flanker on the near side this time. Here goes Lentz. Hands it off. Here comes Todd Ayers. Busted up the middle. Ayers down to the 36-yard line. Beautiful run that time by Todd Ayers.
Back is number 82.
Son of a gun.
Dave Wetzel brings him down.
Nice run that time, and it's a first down for the Trojans at the 36-yard line. Trojans on the march here now. Undercuffler flanks out on the far side. Tight end on the near side is Tim Ressler, I believe, or is it Troy? I'm not sure. At any rate, here goes Wiest up the middle for 4 or 5. Carey still on his feet inside the 30 to the 28.
Nice pickup by number 31.
I'm going to say he was stopped at the 31, so okay, they take about a yard or so off of Carey, but a nice run that time by Carey Wiest. Picked up 6, it'll be 2nd and 4. The ball spot at the 31.
30-yard line.
Boy, oh boy. All right. Wiest, Ayers, and Rickert in the backfield. Flanked on the near side is Undercuffler. Lentz with it. Hands it off to Todd Ayers. Todd dives down to the 25. Trojans moving, marching out there now. Good job that time. Another first down for the Trojans. Good job. As Ayers blasts it down to the 25-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans there. Here's Lentz, handing it off. Here goes Gene Rickert. Gene might go all the way. Look out here. Gene does a touchdown. Beautiful. A 25-yard touchdown by Gene Rickert. There are no flags on the field, and a great run that time by Gene Rickert. And a boy, Gene. Trojans take the lead 13-12. Okay, Rickert with a good run. Stone Road and Raybuck indeed, as Mr. Klinger points out here. 2 good blocks to spring Gene all the way in from the 25. Gene going to try his magical foot here now. Let's see if we can get a point after here for the Trojans. Trojan defense just has tightened up, period. Trojan offense getting it going, so look out. Gene will try his 2nd consecutive extra point of the day. Good snap. Nope, they're going to try to run this one. Look out, pass into the end zone. Extra point is good to Undercuffler. So a fine play that time as they've got the thread in there with Richie Shadle making the pass to Jason Undercuffler. All right, 15-12, the Trojans up by 3. Super job. Atta boy, fellas, man. I'll tell you, the Trojans need this ball game, and it looks right now like they're back in control. Came with 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Trojans now up by 3, 15-12, much to the great pleasure of this homecoming crowd. Okay, Gene Rickard will tee it up at the 40-yard line. Scouting crew here from Schuylkill Haven, getting some scouting on the Trojans. Okay, here we go. Rickard's got it teed up at the 40. And his kick is good. Kerry Wiest, rather, kicks it off down to the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25. Shuey's got it tripped up at the 27 and rolls ahead to the 30. So it'll be first and 10 for the Millersburg Indians at the 30-yard line. Brian Bellis again making the initial hit out there. Bellis is probably the premier punt and kickoff return coverage man for UDA. He seems to be on every punt or every kickoff return coverage. Okay. First and 10 now. Again, the crowd exalting the defense to do it here. Here's a pitch over here now. Shuick is not a quarterback anymore. He is tripped up out there very nicely by Brian Bellis. Gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. It'll be second down and 4. Gearing is due quarterback as Shuick moves back to a running back position. And Gearing, the man we announced as the initial starting quarterback, is indeed into the ball game now as the Trojans have solved the offense of Millersburg with Shuick at quarterback, and the Indians now go with their regular quarterback, I guess, Gearing. Moves Shuick over to a running back position. Here's the pitch, back to Shuick, coming up to meet him very nicely. Again, here's number 30, Arts. Sean Arts coming up to make a good stop. Boy, Arts just blew in there quickly. Loss of about 3 or 4 on the play. About 3 on the play. It'll be third and 8 now. Ball back to the 33-yard line. Man, you can just see the whole thing turning around here late in the second period when the Trojan defense finally started to tighten up. And now they have become very tough. Okay, we've got a third down and 8. Here's a handoff on a reverse. 22's got it. Going around the right side. Some guys come up, make a miss on him, and now he's got some yardage. Gets all the way out here to the 45-yard line. Close to the 45.
Looks like a Millersburg first down.
Looks like it is a first down by about 4, as the Trojans that time got caught up in a reverse play, and now we got some hollering and carrying on. 53 over there getting incensed, as well as the Trojans number 31 here, Gene Rickard, I guess it is. Yeah. And Gene complaining to the officials about something that's going on over there on the sidelines. But at any rate, cooler heads are going to prevail now. And it will be a first down for the Indians at the 43-yard line. At their own 43.
43-yard line.
Trojans just getting a little bit faked out that time. They play out in front of us here now at the 43. First and 10 Millersburg. Time momentarily called here now as the officials discuss something. I'm not sure exactly what. I guess they're ready to go now. Okay, fellas getting really hyper right here. Rickard really coming up there and telling these guys, you know, exhorting his ball players to dig in here now on the defense. Quarterback handing it off. Over there goes that Shuick, and Shuick around the left side runs into Richie Shadle finally, and then they're driven out of bounds over there by a couple of guys. And again, as they gather over there in front of the visiting bench, things slow getting back onto the field over there, it seems, as the fellas have a few words with each other.
As Shuick gets into Trojan
Shuick picks up about 9. It'll be second down and 1. So now all of a sudden with Shuick at the running back position, Millersburg getting a little bit more offensive minded. We've got 4 minutes and 59 seconds. The clock is stopped as Shuick was driven out of bounds over there. So 4:59 remaining in the third period. Trojans up by 3, 15-12. QB hands off to Bellis, and Bellis has nearly a first down. It depends on the spot here. He has it down to the 46-yard line of UDA. If they spotted anything shy of the 46, let's see. In fact, they're going to have to measure this one, and Bellis is also down, injured. It looks like he may have pulled a Charlie horse out there. At any rate, it's going to be very close. to a first down. Looks like it's, well, they may even be deciding, yeah, they're going to measure it here. And it is going to be short, according to the Trojans. Now they're going to move it around. Bellis, the young fella that's down, he's only down temporarily. He'll have to leave the game for a play or two maybe, but I think he's going to be back. Looked like he has a Charlie horse. At any rate, it's going to be a third down and about the length of the football or less for a first down when we return after this injury timeout. 4 minutes, 43 seconds remaining in period 3. 15-12 Trojans up by 3. It's going to be a first down and a very short one. If Schuick doesn't get the ball this time, I would be totally surprised. Or maybe the quarterback will elect to sneak it. We'll see. The quarterback's going to sneak it, and he's got the first down, and only that. Ran right into Tom Paul. But I think he has enough for the first down as he drove it down to the 46. So it'll be first and 10 for Millersburg now on the UDA 46. Both ball clubs here with identical 3-2-1 records, so both teams really need this ball game today. Very meaningful game for homecoming. That really makes it even more neat.
Millersburg at the Trojan.
Here we go
46.
now with a first and 10 for the Indians. Pitch back over here to Schuick. Coming up to meet him here now is a couple of Trojans as he gets about 2 to the 44-yard line. Coming up there is Rickert and 62 Bingaman, I think, was in on that play also. Picked up a yard, maybe a little more than that. And now timeout's going to be called. Temporarily here we have an official timeout for a repair to a young Indian. Long gain of 1 on the play. It'll be second down and 9. Okay, here we go. Second and 9 from the 44. Up the middle goes the first man, Bellis. He gets down to the 41. Ayers making the stop for the Trojans. Picked up about 3 or so. It's going to bring up a third down and 5. And again, we have a timeout here. Official timeout for whatever.
The rushing statistics for the first half for Millersburg. Chris Schuick.
Not sure what the nature of that temporary timeout was, but at any rate, the clock's put back in motion again now with 3 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in period number 3. Third quarter play here. Here's a pitch over to number 34, and there's going to be a nice stop, and some flags, I think, are being thrown out here. In fact, I know there are. There's one right there you can see. Rickert and Bingaman, I think, coming up to make the stop, but there's going to be 2 men in motion, I think, at the same time for the Indians. Now, the play was a loss back to the 42-yard line. Make that the 44-yard line. So this time, we'll see what the Trojans are going to do. I would think they'd elect to set them back this time, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Nope, I don't think they will. The legal procedure is declined, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Okay, all right, it would be 4th and 9 now. I was looking at the wrong stick, so of course that would make sense. Justin Adams will be back at the 7-yard line for the Trojans to receive this punt, as the Trojan defense has held. The punter is Schuick. You got to watch him, I guess, out here. He's standing at his own 45-yard line. See what kind of a snap he gets. Good snap. And he gets the punt away. Very wobbly punt. Going to go out of bounds over on the far side, but let's see where they line this one up. Wait a minute. Where's he going? My goodness. Atta boy. Okay, it's going to be at the 24-yard line, so that'll be first and 10 for the Trojans now on the 24. Schuick, a good runner. Maybe a good passer, but not really a great kicker so far this afternoon. At any rate, it is first and 10 now for the Trojans on their own 24. Here's Wieston Rickert in the backfield along with quarterback Jeff Lentz for UDA on the 24, 1st and 10. Handoff over there to Rickert, and Gene might have gotten a yard or so out of that. I'm not sure. Or it was Ayers, I'm sorry. Ayers stacked up with a gain of about a half a yard, virtually nothing. As Undercuffler checks out, and Justin Adams comes back in for the Trojans. Adams will be in there now as a flanker on the near side of the field. Justin flanking out way over this way.
For UDA.
Here we go. Lentz has it, hands it off over here to Rickert, and Gene dives ahead to the 27 or 28 yard line, something like that. It'll be a 3rd down and 6.
Brian Bellis coming in for UDA.
Brian Bellis comes in on a 3rd and 6.
Ball at the 28-yard line of Upper Dauphin.
3rd down and 6. Play coming up here now for the Trojans. Lentz sets him up. Whoop, looked like the ball was loose in there. Hold everything. Ball was loose. Let's see what happened here. Are they going to rule this one? It looks as though Millersburg may have recovered. They did. Millersburg has recovered the fumble on the missed snap there by the Trojans, and it's going to be 1st and 10 Millersburg now on the 28-7.
By 28-yard line.
Wow. They didn't need that with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go here in period 3. Trojans turn it over in terrible field position as far as they're concerned. Great field position as far as these Indians are concerned. Quarterback looking, gonna try to roll over the left side. Got some fellas coming up over there to make a good
picked up maybe
stop.
3 in the play.
Picked up a couple, I'd say not more than 2.
Paul over there, along with Ayers.
Gene Rickert,
Troy Klinger,
Paul, Ayers, Klinger, everybody on the left side of that, or the right side of that Trojan defensive line, making the stop. Picked up 2. Ball now right at the 25-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 8 with 34 seconds remaining here in period 3. Handoff to 24, and he stopped immediately in there on a really nice stop in there. Kerry Weist, but let's see who the man on the bottom is. Gene Rickert, I think. Nope, number 30, Sean Arts. Okay, good job, Sean. Making a good stop. Boy, Sean just shot right in there. Stopped him for a yard loss. It'll be 3rd and 9. Ball now at the 26-yard line. As time winds down here, we're down to 4 seconds. That's going to do it for period number 3. And at the end of 3 periods, the Trojans now clinging to a scant 3-point lead. It's UDA 15 and the Trojans 12. Be back with the final 12 minutes of play here in just one moment. Rather warm day here now, as the sun is out again and there's a nice breeze blowing, but for the boys, I know it's a hot one, and you can see that both squads here in need of a little bit of refreshment every chance they get, because it is a warm but beautiful autumn day here in downtown Elizabethville. Back with the beginning of the 4th period in just a second.
Adults and $2 for children under 10. Then a homecoming dance.
Okay, set to go here on a big 3rd down and 9 for the Millersburg Indians on the Trojan 26-yard line. Need a big defensive play here now. Here we go. Handoff over here to 21 Bellis. He gets ahead of one guy still on his feet. And Dana Bellis may have gotten the 1st down. In fact, I think he did. Oh, a couple of super misses that time by the Trojans as Bellis went down there and he pulled. Now he looks like he might have pulled another Charlie horse. But gosh, that was a tough one there for the Trojan defense, as it looks as though he's got the 1st down at the Trojan 16-yard line. So after the injury timeout, we'll be right back with the Indians in control of the football on the Upper Dauphin.
For anyone interested, there will be work done on the Elizabethville Borough baseball field tomorrow afternoon. Please bring some rakes and shovels and a strong back. Help get the field ready for the spring. We need your support.
Okay, 1st and 10 now for the Indians on the Millersburg, or on the Upper Dauphin 17-yard line. Here's a pitch over here to Schuick, and he is grabbed, spins away from one tackler, and now he's finally driven down by Kerry Waste. Tom Paul had the initial hit on him. He spun away. This kid is tough. A little spark plug out here, and not a real tall fella. Matter of fact, a rather short young fella. But boy, does he ever run and is powerful.
21-yard line.
Nice play defensively for the Trojans as Tom slowed him down there, and he spun away from Tom, and then Kerry Weist, I think he said, come up and made the stop. But at any rate, loss of about 5. Ball back to the 20, nearly the 22-yard line now. So that was a big defensive play for the Trojans. It's 2nd down and about 15. Quarterback looking over the middle, passes one up in the air. It's tipped and out of the hands of number 10. Coverage back there by Richie Shadle and number 86, Brian Bellis. But it goes as an incompletion. It'll bring up a 3rd and 15 now for the Indians. So the Trojans must hold them here. Ball right at the 21-yard line. So it's actually a 3rd down and about 15. Just about 15 anyway. Flanker out on the far side of the field for Millersburg. Gehrig sets him up, looking down that way. Passes one over there. It is incomplete. Wow. Wow. Didn't like the look of the coverage over there. Sean Arts was out there with him, but he had Arts and Rickert beaten down there. Had the pass not been overthrown, could have been trouble, big trouble. At any rate, goes to an incompletion, and it will be a 4th down now. And the Trojans need this big stop, and Millersburg needs this big play, so they're going to call timeout to talk this one over. They'll be faced with a 4th down and about 15 when we come back. Secretary of Defense coming in here, Mr. Klauser, coming in to give the Trojan fellas a clue here as to what Millersburg will attempt, and going to try to stop this, whatever it is. Be right back. 10 minutes, 47 seconds remaining in the ball game. Trojans up 15-12. Okay, we're set to go now. On the big play of the game for the Millersburg Indians. Millersburg had dominated the first quarter, putting 12 points on the board quickly. And the Trojans hanging in tough now on a 4th and 15. Quarterback looking to pass. Jumps one over here, and he drops the ball. Okay, that'll stop it. Number 82 was the receiver, and he simply dropped the ball. Man, he had it set up pretty nice there. A lot of defenders with him to help run interference for him, and he did not hang on to the ball. So the Trojans will take over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line. Wow. Arts leaves the ball game for the Trojans right now, and Trojans set her up on offense. Motion coming this way. Jeff Lentz pitches it back over here to Todd Ayers. Todd picks his way up the middle, still on his feet. Dives out here to the 26 or 7-yard line. Nice run that time again by that Todd Ayers. And it will be a gain of 7, I think. Let's see here.
2nd down and 4.
Ball at the 27-yard line. Okay, to be 2nd and 4 then. Trojans need to grind one out here now and get a score. Now there's another timeout of some kind. Okay, now they're going to start it up. Wasn't really sure what happened there again, but anyway, Trojans ready to go on a 2nd and 4. Lentz hands it off. Up the middle goes Kerry Weiss for a yard or so. Not much more than that. Carry out to the 28-yard line, perhaps they'll give him. And it'll bring up a 3rd and about 3.
Weiss to the carry, maybe a yard. Stop
Not
by
much more than a yard. Let's see. Give him
Kasner.
a yard. It'll be 3rd and a long 3, or maybe a 4. Not too much gain on that play at all. 9 minutes, 34 seconds remaining in the ball game. And it's a 3rd and 3. So let's see what the Trojans have elected to call here. Here's Lentz. He's got it. He hands it off to Todd Ayers, and Ayers is going to be stopped for maybe a no gain on the play. And so the Trojans now run into a strong Millersburg defense, and the Trojans are going to have to punt. And that will bring into the game the Jason Undercuffler, who is a good punter for the Trojans. And Jason will be punting from back at his own 22-yard line, something like that. He'll step up and punt this one.
Back are Shuick and Bowe.
Shuick and Bowe are back for the Indians. Here's a nice snap. And nice punt.
Nice punt.
Very nice punt. Going to be taken by Bowe at the 37. He's at the 40-yard line and moves ahead here now to the 45, where Richie Shadle grabs a hold up by the jersey and waits for some help there. And several ball players bowl him over out there. And it's going to be 1st and 10 now for the Indians in real good field position out here at the UDA 44-yard line. So those Indians have not let up here.
And Millersburg will
got
take
8
over
minutes, 33 seconds remaining. Clock moving now, so we'll be down to less than 8.5 minutes to play when we get her going here. Ball just shy of the Trojan 45. Indians now with what little breeze there is anymore at their back. Quarterback has to give it over there to Shuick. Shuick trying to turn the right side, runs into a whole bunch of people, including Brian Mace. Gene Rickert, who is in on every tackle, it would seem. Kerry Weiss is over there, but I think Mace and Rickert might have been the two that were responsible for that stop. And so it'll be a gain of, or rather 2nd and 11, loss of about a yard on the play. Good defensive play for the Trojans. They put the ball back now at the 44-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and a little longer than 10. Up the middle goes Bellis. Down to the 48-yard line. Picked up some nice yardage that time he did. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 6.
Making a tackle.
They're going to spot the ball at the 48-yard line of
actually gain of 4 will be
Millersburg.
3rd down and 6, ball resting.
3rd and 6. Kerry Weiss, Kerry Weiss comes
line
out of the ball game now for the Trojans. And this is a big one here for the Trojan defense on a 3rd and 6. See what they do. Quarterback rolling back to pass, getting a good rush. Fires one down the far side. It's complete
down around the
to number 10, right at the 41-yard line of Upper Dauphin, and that's going to be enough for the first down. Walsh picked off the pass for his Indian teammates, and it's a Millersburg first down at the UDA 41. 6 minutes, 53 seconds as Walsh was pushed out of bounds over there, so he did stop the clock. 6:53 to go here in the ball game.
15 yards.
Tough ball game here now. The Trojans need to dig in again. About a 10-yard pass play that time. Handoff going into the middle of the line goes Bellis, I think it was. And he doesn't get too much at all. Might have got down to the 39-yard line. Got a yard or so. See where they spot it. They spot it right on the 40. Gain of 1.
2nd down and 9.
Trojan center of that defensive line now, really playing tough out there. We'll keep an eye on the clock now as we're down to 6.5 minutes to play. Clock moving. Have about 6 minutes and 15 seconds or something like that when they get this play off. Okay, run and shoot offense into the game. Here's the quarterback looking over the middle. Passes one, hits it, knocked down and almost intercepted by Gene Rickert.
Pass almost picked up by number 34, Gene Rickert.
I think if the pass maybe wouldn't have been thrown quite so hard, Gene may have had a chance to pick that one off. He did have an opportunity, but the ball came in there like a bullet as Rich Kerwin checks out now as Kerry Wiest returns to the ball game for the Trojans on this big 3rd down and 9. So here's another one of those big 3rd down plays for the Trojan defense and the Millersburg Indian offense. Quarterback looking to pass. Now he's getting a good rush, scrambles out of the pocket and fires one down here. And the flag is thrown down there, and I believe we could have interference on the coverage that time. We'll see. Yep. I believe they're going to call pass interference against the Trojans, which would really be upsetting here. Trap interference against UDA. That's going to give the Indians, let's see, it was a 3rd down and 9, and if it's not sure what the penalty yardage is. Let's see.
How do you figure this?
Well, not sure what happens here. Referee is going to come over and confer with Coach Hain.
Okay.
There is a discussion here. Coach Matier, of course, does not agree with where the ball was placed for the penalty. And it's a 1st down now for Millersburg at the UDA 25. So that play there really hurt the Trojans on the interference call. Trojan defense will really have to dig in here now. Millersburg with a 1st and 10 on the UDA 25. Here goes Schuick with it. Drives ahead here, lost the ball, I thought.
Bellis on the carry.
Bellis, rather. Okay, it was Bellis. Diving ahead for about a half dozen of them. Looks like it'll be a 2nd down and, well, 2nd down and 5. Ball just slightly inside the UDA 20-yard line. The length of the football inside the 20. So things getting critical here now. Here's another handoff, and Schuick is tackled from behind this time very nicely by Todd Ayers. Comes up and makes a fine stop. Gene Rickard helping out, but Todd grabbed him by the foot, and they drug him down at the 22-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 7 now for Millersburg. Again, another big 3rd down play coming up here. Darn it, anyway, we must stop these guys on these next 2 plays, and it'll look much better for the Trojan homecoming crowd here. Now we got 5 minutes remaining in the ball game. 5 minutes. Clock moving, so we're under 5 when they get this play off. Looks like a pass as he rolls out over this way. Passes it ahead. It's going to be picked off this time by Richie Shadle. And Shadle brings it back out here to the 27-yard line. Oh, what a great interception. Couldn't have come at a better time. Shadle picked that one off at about the 15. And we got a man hurt out here, and this kid is hurt as Kerry Wiest even signals some aid for the young Indian. But boy, oh boy, what a super time for Shadle to pick one off. And it's going to give the Trojans the ball 1st and 10 at the UDA 28-yard line. We'll be right back after an injury timeout. Tom says, give me a straw, I'll just dip right into the main bucket.
I'd like to announce that there's orders being taken for Trojan Stadium blankets. They cost $20, and they will be here in time for Christmas. This is by the Upper Dauphin area.
Young Millersburger seems to be okay, and in fact, that was Schuick, and he played one heck of a football game for the Indians, no question about that. So he seems like he's going to be okay, but he is shaken up on the play, and so the Trojans will take over now after the big Richie Shadle interception. Jeff Lentz at the 27-yard line for the Trojans. He hands it off here to Gene Rickard. Gene dives into the pile over there, and he's going to be driven back. And there'll be no gain on that play, or virtually no gain on the play. Be a loss of 1. Be 2nd down and 11.
Led the defensive effort there for
Justin Adams comes into the ball game. He'll take the place of Pussy Manning. Okay, here we go. 2nd and 11. Lentz rolling right. He's got plenty of protection here. Now Jeff's going to run it. Yep, going to cut her upfield here. And he's going to be thrown out of bounds here by the Indians right at the 34-yard line. They're going to spot it. Gain of about 7 on the play, or maybe 8, as it'll bring up a 3rd down and
ball up to about the
34-yard line. Ball at the 34-yard line now.
4.
Good run that time by Jeff. Picked up about 7 yards. It was a 2nd down and 11. We've now got a 3rd and 4. So here we go. We need to get a 1st down here. Whoops, hold it. That'll give you a 1st down right there. It's number 80 or 60 of the Indians. Hops across the midfield or the line of scrimmage. And that should give the Trojans 5 free ones, and that'll also give them a 1st down out at the 39-yard line. That miscue there cost the Millersburg Indians, at least temporarily. The nice thing about this is the Trojans are buying some time now. We're down to 3 minutes and 43 seconds. And now okay, clock is stopped. The referee signaled to go, but now they stopped it. And alertly, our timekeeper here has kept the clock stopped. Okay, 1st and 10. Lentz hands it off, and Ayers is stopped immediately. Or is that Wiest? That was Kerry Wiest that time. Kerry stopped immediately out there by the Indians. Super ball game here today, just the way we expected it might be. 2 evenly matched clubs, it would seem. At least today they appear to be evenly matched. As we've got a 15-12 ball game, and we're down to 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining in the ball game. Trojans with the ball at the 38-yard line. Lentz hands it off. Here comes Ayers tucking it away, and Todd drives it out here to the 44-yard line. Another good run that time by Todd. Picked up about, let's see here. Looks like he gained about 4, just about 5.
Trojan 44.
So it'll be 3rd down here now and 6. Ball at the 44-yard line of UDA. Trojans need this one real bad. Need to pick this 1st down up here now. Lentz sets him up. Hands it off here to Ayers. He dives ahead for a yard or so across the 45 to the 46. Picked up about 2 only. So the Trojans going to be short here now. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
4th down and about 3.
About close to 3. I'm not sure about that one there. I wished we could have gotten a little more out of that. But at any rate, we're going to give the ball back now to the Millersburg Indians. And if Jason Undercuffler can get a good punt off here now, we should be in pretty good shape. It would drive the Indians back. And they've got a minute and 55 seconds. So, okay, let's see if we can get a good snap here and Jason get a good kickoff.
Back to punt.
And drive these guys back. And now we're going to have a delay of the game penalty, so that'll back the Trojans up 5 yards and cause the punt to occur 5 yards deeper, which would mean Jason would be punting from about his own 28-yard line, as the ball is going to be spotted back at the UDA 41. So we need good coverage. We'll be looking for Brian Bellis this time to go down there and give us one of his good coverages. Brian's the kind of line up at the left end position. Now let's see. Millersburg going to bring everybody to block this punt. Here's Undercuffler with the punt. Gets it off. Wow, he's going to get a good UDA roll. Now it's kicked out of bounds. Look out. Can we grab it? No. Yes. Yes, it should be up and off and ball, and it is. Okay. Up and off and has recovered the ball as Schuick fumbled the ball out here at about the 30-yard line and rolled down to the 21-yard line or 19-yard line, and it's recovered there by the Trojans, and that should do it for UDA. Okay, boy, the Trojans got a super break there now on a mishandled punt. And that's going to give the UDA Trojans the ball 1st and 10, the ball at the 19-yard line. Wow, that came with a minute 23 remaining and the clock moving. Okay, Trojans would not, would like nothing more than to drive one in here. Maybe we can throw a pass here from Lentz to somebody and
I think he did, though.
Get 6. A minute and 10 remaining. Here's Lentz with it, hands it off, and trying to go up the middle with it is Ayers. Todd got a really tough yard there that time, and Schuick back into the ball game.
Makes the tackle.
He made the stop for the Trojans, and timeout's going to be called here now by Millersburg, I would assume. Coach Hain comes into the ball game. He's going to talk to Gene Rickard here just momentarily. At any rate,
Brian Bellis made
we'll
the tackle
be
on Schuick, and Bussy Manning
right back.
recovered that fumble down there at the 20-yard line.
Left here now, Trojans hanging on to a 15-12 margin. 3-point margin for the Trojans. Trojans looking to move their record to 4-2-1. Okay, here we go. Lentz will set them up. Weiss, Ayers, and Rickard in the backfield. Flanker on the near side is Justin Adams. Here goes Rickard in motion over the left side. Lentz going to roll around that side. Tuck it away. Got some blocking in front of him. Pushes off of a couple of guys. Jeff, wait a minute, still on his feet. Ooh, I thought his knee had touched back here a couple of yards, but they're going to say no, he did not go down. And so, Lentz with a fine run around that left side. Son of a gun, picking him up and laying him down all the way down to the 10-yard line. They'll spot it at the 11. So it'll be third down and one rather, from the 11-yard line. Bussy Manning comes in as Justin Adams comes out for the Trojans. Here we go on a 3rd and 1. More importantly, we're down to 46 seconds and the clock stopped. And timeout, again called by the Indians.
For an encounter with those high-flying Eagles. Please try to make it to that game and support Upper Dauphin area Trojans football team.
Okay, here we go on a 3rd down and 1. Lentz sets him up at the 11. Hand off to Rickard. He's not going to get the first down as Gene runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Loss of maybe a half a yard or so on the play. We'll see where they spot it. Yep, a loss of about a good yard on the play. It'll be 4th down and 2. Ball at the 12. About a 4th and 2. 18 seconds remaining, so the Trojans may just kneel on this one, and that should be about it. We're down to 11 seconds, and the Trojans are going to go for their 3rd consecutive victory here now. As Lentz sets them up, we're down to 3 seconds, 2, 1, and that's going to do it. Okay, the Trojans with a big victory over the Millersburg Indians in one heck of a tough football game. Awfully tough football game out there now, and everybody pretty doggone happy about that one as the Trojans keep their hopes alive for the Twin Valley Conference Championship with a big effort today over these Millersburg Indians. Super ball game. Trojans with a tough victory. We'll face the Line Mountain Eagles next week now on Friday night. And we hope to extend this winning streak now to 4 in a row.
Today's game.
Super ball game.
The alumni football flag football game here at 4
Trojans
o'clock.
needed this one, and they went out, and they got it. So congratulations, Coach Hain, the coaching staff, and every one of these
The official will be
UDA Trojan ball players who have just played
and then there's a spaghetti
super
supper from 4
ball
to 7,
game.
and then later on, the homecoming dance from 8 to 11.
Coach Hain has got to be very, very pleased with this one. It looked tough in the early going as Millersburg came out to a 12-0 lead in the first quarter of play. Looked like a blowout time almost, but the Trojan defense then hung tough, did not allow the Millersburg Indians anything after that, and came back and put 15 points on the board. So, congratulations, fellas. One heck of a ball game, and we'll catch you next week against the Lion Mountain Indians Our Line Mountain Eagles. Final score today, UDA 15, Millersburg 12. Dale Calnon saying, see you later. Good ball game. You just kind of like to savor one of these, and this is one of those kinds of games. Catch you later.